Who was here my last speech, I was talking about how Ben was my husband. I'm diehard. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
How many of you have dated and you're like, okay, this is it. I'm good. I can throw away my black book. You know, you get rid of everything and you're all of a sudden, boom, caboose, it goes to an end. Has anyone experienced that? You guys are shy, don't mind telling me. It's okay, it's okay. Well, dating has become a really, really fun thing, essentially because when you lock yourself down, you kind of forget. When you get back in, you're like, oh my goodness. So with my experience, I had to look up the definition of dating. Because essentially when you're dating someone, when you're in a relationship, it's different, right? You're essentially just going out, hey, you want to do this, you want to do that, versus, oh my goodness, I have to meet this person, I have to figure out what they like. So now, thanks to social media, there is a lot of different ways to date someone. You have Match, name some other websites. We have Match.com, eHarmony, Plenty of Fish, there's your app. Then you have Tinder, good old Tinder. So my friend told me about Tinder and I'm like, okay, I'll try out Tinder. This is gonna be great. I mean, what better app? You just swipe left when you don't like them and swipe right when you like them. So I'm swiping. And you get really good at it. You start swiping so fast and then you're like, oh man, I wanted that one. I gotta pay for it to get it come back. I'm not paying for it. So he's just gone. You meet someone and you're like, okay. You finally exchange numbers, you start texting. I'm like, this could be good, you know? So I met this one particular guy. I'm gonna show you guys this. Brandon. Ooh, right? I'm like, Brandon, okay, from Washington, D.C. I'm from D.C. You know, we'll have something in common. So I'm a genuine, honest guy. Very spontaneous. Love living life. I am a normal guy that works really hard in life, achieves goals that I set for myself. I'm outgoing. I like to have fun. I'm like, okay, Brandon. We decide to actually meet up at a bar. He's at the bar. He's waiting. I finally get there. I'm like, okay, where's Brandon? Looking around for Brandon. I can't find Brandon. I'm like, Brandon, where are you? You said you were here. It's like, I'm at the bar. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of seats at the bar. Everyone has their back turned, everyone's having a good time. I'll go to the bar, check it out. I go to the bar. I'm like, where is Brandon? Brandon's like, I'm right here. Okay. I turn around and Brandon is right there. I said, Brandon. You can imagine my face. You guys remember Brandon?
The old Brandon, yeah.
Brandon.
Oh! Ouch.
So I'm like this. I'm thinking in my head, what are people thinking? And this is immediately what came to my head. I'm like, these people are gonna say, is that your boyfriend? But you know, so there's three options. A, I can jet out the door, right? I ran track, I'm pretty fast. B, I can say, well, you know, I can sit down with Brandon. Maybe I might be interested in Brandon, his, you know, the conversation. He needs a chance. Or C, I can say, Brandon, this is what you sent me, and this is what you look like. We have, you know, this, I mean, so essentially, what happened is the art of catfish. Have you guys heard of catfish? Catfish is a slang. It's a new social media term. It's social media created false identities, and it has origins from 2010, the movie Catfish. And they actually have a show called Catfish, and that's a show. And people go all the time, and they're not who they say they are. They're not what they look like. So, do you guys, you think you know which one do you think I did?
Brandon.
I actually chose option C, where I told, Brandon, hey, buddy, this is not what we discussed. I still decided to sit down and enjoy the dinner. I said, at the very least, I'm here, free meal. That's what we girls do. Winning. We sat down, we had a great conversation, and I am a person that, I'm very old-fashioned. So for me, I believe in courting. A man should court a woman, that's how it should be. That's how daddy raised me, and that's how it is. That's a huge problem for the dating world now. At the end of the date, he goes, you want to go Dutch? I'm like, Dutch? This couldn't get any worse. It was even though the conversation was great, it was a horrible date. And at the end of the day, I learned a really good lesson. Be careful of what goes on social media, because it's not always true. Also, I've also learned that essentially you should just, if you can, marry your best friend. If you have a best friend of the opposite sex that you're interested in, or same sex these days, whatever, marry your best friend. Even if they're not the person that you essentially see yourself with, if you can marry your best friend, obviously it's a good relationship. You're best friends for a reason. That's my dating advice. Thank you.